Problem 1. So we have the limit as n goes to infinity of the sum from k equals 1 to n of 4k over n plus the square root of 4k over n squared plus 1 times 4 over n. And our job is to write this as an integral. And the first thing you should kind of observe is when you're rewriting this limit of a sum as an integral, this part is going to become the integral part. We have to figure out what the limits of integration are, but still, that's kind of what that is. And this part here, some number over n, that's going to be your delta x. So our delta x is b minus, and I suppose I should say, the rest of this is your f of x sub k, which is going to become f of x. So our job really here is to figure out what's your limits of integration, I suppose, and what's your x sub k. So delta x, if you recall, is b minus a over n. And it's usually a pretty good bet that a is going to be 0. So I'm just going to say this is 4 minus 0 over n, which is 4 over n. And then if you recall, when we're doing like this right endpoint thing, right, we take your integral from 0 to 4, and 0 is your first, it's your x sub 0, and then the next one, x sub 1, is 0 plus your delta x. So x sub 1 is just 4 over n. And x sub 2 is another 4 over n, so it's 4 times 2 over n. And at this point you kind of start to see, oh, your x sub k is going to be 4k over n, right? You can also think of it as, we know that x sub k is equal to a plus k times delta x, which in this case is 0 plus k times 4 over n. So your x sub k is 4 over n, meaning, sorry, 4k over n, apologies. All right, this is 4k over n. So that means that this piece here, this is your x sub k, this is your x sub k, and so our function is x plus the square root of x squared plus 1. So rewriting the integral, and we'll write it down here, it's going to be the integral from, well, my limits of integration are 0 to 4, because my b was 4 and my a was 0. This x sub k becomes x when you write the integral. This also becomes x squared, so it's the square root of x squared plus 1. And then your 4 over n becomes delta x, which is your dx. And that's it.